Ciao Milanisti, welcome back. Where do I even start? Where do I start to explain? Look, the last time I spoke to you guys directly from my videos was just after Lazio game and just after, obviously, Ion and Radu kind of gifted us a chance to win the Scudetto this season. But with 4 games to go from that point, with Fiorentina, with Hellas Verona, Atalanta and Sassuolo, obviously the job wasn't done. And here we are, I sit before you. We now look at ourselves as we won the league. We have won the league. We won the Scudetto. It's hard to put into words. I'm going to try to today. I'm going to try my best to put into words how I feel. And this is what the context of the video is going to be about. Of course, it's going to be about the Scudetto win because obviously that's just the biggest news right now, despite potential new ownership, but despite all the accolades and who might be signing for the club. We're going to be talking about the league. We're going to be talking about not a breakdown of the player per player and who I think that, the ratings, etc. We're going to be talking about what this means to myself and what it should mean to all you Milan fans out there and how important this moment should feel and how much you should enjoy this moment. And that's the importance. And what a wild ride of a season we've had. We can't expect any less from this beloved club that we have because it's Milan. We've got the highs and the lows. You've got the ebbs and the flows, everything. I'm starting to rhyme now. It was such a mental season, and for it to end that way, it was such a dominant, convincing performance against Sassuolo, where we just killed the game off within the first half. Was just sheerly incredible. I spent my time watching it in Milan Club London, along with hundreds of can't even get my words out now. Hundreds of Milan fans down in London, central London. We just enjoyed it. It was complete scenes down there. Like beers flying everywhere. I probably had a bit too much to drink myself, but like beers flying everywhere. People just like hugging each other. They didn't even know who each other was. It was just the emotions of that day was just simply incredible. And what we've seen since then with the celebrations going on in Milan, which we'll come on to in a bit as well, which has just been incredible to watch. Ibrahimovic and his speech and him, Govan, Hakan Çalhanoğlu on the team bus, and Theo Hernandez as well. We need to get him off the microphone. Everything has just been incredible, and I'm just kind of, I think we're all riding on like cloud 9 right now. It's really difficult to put into words and how we're all feeling. It's just a relief of a sense of emotions, and yeah, let's just talk about it today. I quickly just want to bring up the stats, some small stats before I get into the emotional side of this. Look, to finish on 86 points this season is a remarkable turnaround in the evolution of this squad. Stefano Pioli, start of the season, spoke about he just wants to better his points that he gained last season. And obviously that was 79 points from the previous season, which got us second place in Champions League football. This season he finished on 86. 86 points. And that includes 26 wins, 8 draws and 4 losses. We have that never say die attitude. We have those last 10 minutes, let's get that winning goal. We saw it in those final few games. Fiorentina with the Leao goal, Tonali in the Lazio game. There was the heart of this side that just kept going and going and going, and the confidence kept flowing. Goals scored, 69. Obviously, that's a great number, but that's only 4th best in the league. So we just know that we have such a way to improve this squad. And the fact of the matter is we won the league with the 4th best attack. So we know that we know the attack can get better. We know the names that we can improve on. We've been through it so many times. But that just goes to show with the investment hopefully coming into the squad, with Champions League football attained once again, with winning the league and the money you get from that as well, we can hopefully re-bolster this side in the attack and be, even better next season. But where we were the best was goals conceded, with 31 joint best with Napoli. So it just goes to show you where we were the best. It was just that gritty side. We know the figureheads in the side, Kalulu's, Tomori's, even Kaya, Romagnoli, Theo Hernandez, Mignon, like best keeper in the league, which will come on to the awards. Just amazing. And obviously the amazing end to the season is what got Stefano Pioli the best coach of the season award. And he fully deserves it. I've been his biggest fan since probably, COVID happened. And we had that sort of turnaround in form. Always thought and been convinced that he's the guy for us in the moment, and he's the guy for us to take us forward. The passion, I love the chants, Pioli's on fire. It's everything you want to see because he resembles the heart of this side. And I think you take him out of this side, you lose a massive figure point of why we are so successful right now, which is heart, which is desire, which is underdog mentality, which now we have to evolve on as a club. But yeah, he won Best Manager of the Year award. Obviously, Rafael Leao ends the last game of the season with 3 assists to win him Best Player in the league. hands down, we knew it was going to be him. Obviously, if Inter won the league, then it probably would have been Lautaro Martinez or Brozovic. If it was Milan, it was going to be Mignon or going to be Leao. But when Leao bust 3 assists in the last game, you know it's going to be him. And fully deserved. Now let's get that kid a renewal. Anyway, and obviously Mike Mignon gets best keeper on the award. And it's a no-brainer. Guy's got 17 assists in 32 league games. Destroys the opposition. I think Donnarumma got 14 clean sheets in... what was it, like 37 games the previous year. I think I said clean sheets before with Mignon. But yeah, anyway. 17 clean sheets in 32 games. I'm just so excited right now. It's just incredible. So 3 individual awards to go along with the Scudetto for Milan, which is just it's just insane. And we'll go on to what this means for me. And I feel like it's so weird because I feel like a proud dad. And yeah, I'm nearly 31 years old, and even though Ibra and Giroud and a few other players are a bit older than me, I'm older than most of these players. And this is the youngest. It came out. This is the youngest Scudetto winning side in the 3-point per win era at 26 years, and I believe it was 97 days the average age of the squad. Incredible. You know, we know how young this squad is, we know what our project is, and it just goes to show you how they're learning and how to handle certain big games, clutch games, and not bottle performances. And a bit of me was worried. A bit of me was worried after that Bologna game, when Inter Milan obviously dropped the ball. Did we have enough to take it, you know, those last 4 games and have the heart? You know, the heart was there, but have the sort of the intensity, the right approach, and we ticked the box in every performance. And this is only going to further evolve these players. These are now the first trophies of some of these players in their careers. So you know, hopefully this is the first of many to come. Okay, so now what it means for me, and I'm hoping what it means for most Milan fans here. Look, when I started making videos, before I jumped on this channel, I did like a 2-part thing, and this is credit for Ollie from Simply Milan for noticing me, and a few other people on Twitter as well for sort of bringing me to their attention. I did a 2 out of a 3-part video thing, which I still need to make the 3rd part for, which is a decade of despair, the rise and sort of hope, you know, and hope for Milan. And I didn't finish the 3rd part because I was waiting to see where we'd eventually fall out, where we'd eventually go in our trajectory as a club. And I did not expect us, you know, I was going to talk about, I think it was like the top 4 Champions League football, attaining that and getting back into Europe for the first time, well, the Champions League for the first time in 8 years. And now here we sit as the Scudetto, the league winners. Yeah, it's just incredible. And I think if we peel things back, go back to that 5-0 loss to Atalanta in December 2019, that was probably one of my lowest parts of being a Milan fan. You know, I've been following them since the early 2000s era, when I sort of fell out of love with English football. I was supporting Arsenal at the time. And yeah, like, I'd sort of picked up Milan, and obviously what came with that was just success for a decade. And then the banter era happened, and it gave fans something that they weren't expecting. It wasn't something that you were wearing a Milan shirt almost as novelty. It was sort of, yes, we are the club of the past. What's happened to you now? I know we have no money. All these sort of things. It was a complicated situation and very testing for Milan fans. You know, you didn't waver. You were always stuck with the club. But it was certain moments where it was like, you know, the Coppa Italia final, the 4-0 loss there. And I remember that 5-0 game, and I was just thinking to myself, like, how low have we fallen to get absolutely decimated by Gasperini's side with him dancing on the sideline? And it put a lot of things into question at the time. And when we peel things back to that and we see that that was only, what, like 2.5 years ago, it's crazy. It's crazy to think on how far this club has come and how far it can still go in such a short space of time. And I think I look back at the team that I grew up supporting. A lot of quality there, a lot of individual quality. Of course, there were some hard-working players like Gattuso, Maldini, Nesta, etc. But there, we had Kaká, Seedorf, Shevchenko. There was still quality. The best to allude to have the best players in the world, Andrea Pirlo. Now what I see from this Milan is a new identity. I see hard work. I see desire, finding the structure back again. There's the identity of the club. And praise for that has to go to the likes of Ibrahimovic, Maldini, Gazidis, Stefano Pioli, Massara, management, everything. Even Elliott deserved their props on this as well, getting us back on the right path. It's just something I'm so thankful for, because we all have this instinct pride of where we are right now as a club, and we're just ticking all the boxes on just resembling what we used to be. And yes, this isn't the Berlusconi era where he was the highest spending, president in probably world football at the time, especially in the 90s era. and clawing in the best players. We know we can't be that anymore, certainly for now. But we have a new identity. We have players that want to be here. We have players that want to give 100% for the club. We have players who have hungry, have so much to prove. And we're putting them in the right environment to succeed with people who understand the shirt. Even the backroom staff, you have Dida, Bonera. People just know that the identity's still there of the club I grew up supporting. And it's being brought down to these players. And you see the parade, you see how much it means. I think it was like 1 million people that showed up in Milan for the celebration parade. Incredible, and you just know that we're creating so many characters in this squad right now. Teo Hernandez for me right now is just the GOAT. Like what he's doing right now in the parade he is a legend. Like already, he can call it a day with Milan for now, and he'll still be a legend to me. He's just incredible. But there's so much heart and there's so much grit. And like I said, I keep talking about this new identity of this Milan side, this pressing side that we have. It's a hard working side. One of the highest pressing sides in Italy. And I think back on when I was supporting Milan, we didn't really press that much when I was younger. We had certain players like Gattuso, the hard workers, but we were such more of a stylish side that there wasn't that necessity for everyone to press. And I guess the game of football has evolved in a sense that everyone's having to chip in and do their part, even the striker has to come in to cut back. But let's look at the Sassuolo game, for example. All 3 of the goals came from enforcing opponents' mistakes through pressing. The Leao press, and you can see there's a nice clip of the video I was hoping to get of purely telling Leao, go for it, that's your man, press him now. Bang, he gets it, and obviously creates the first goal. The Krunic presses on the 3rd goal. Even the 2nd goal, it's Leao pressing the marker, enforcing the error and putting yourself in isolation to get the goal. And that's the way football's going. And we are keeping up with modern football. Teams like Liverpool, Man City, they all hold this, this important identity when it comes to football. And I'm happy that we're sort of, resembling that as well. And not like the likes of other teams in this league. You don't really hold that sort of identity. We are much of a hard-working side, and that translates itself to the fans. Now, in case you've been living underneath a rock, you must have seen the Ibrahimovic speech. It's on everywhere. It's not hard to find. It's been plastered all over the news. I keep watching that. I've probably seen that over a dozen times now. Probably nearly 20 times. I don't know. Something just hits home. Obviously, when he flips the table and everyone starts screaming, the emotions are riding through. But when he's saying about, bringing things back to when he first came here. He came to Milan, not here. I wish it was Milan. When he first came to the club, back to the club, and obviously started things from scratch, and then the others came. That tells you everything you need to know about how this club has moved and the right pieces we need in play. And if he stays on, I hope he does stay on. I know I've been critical about his age and his fitness, but if it's a reduced salary and with the money now to book it in, then fair enough, keep him here, because you can clearly see such a character for the dressing room and give so much. His speech is just, I don't know what it is, I like tear up when I see it. It's magical, and that's the definition of a leader, the definition of a legend. And I loved every single player in the squad. Even if I've rinsed players like Ballatore and Bakayoko, etc., everyone's had a part to play, regardless of their stature. Even like Daniel Maldini's popped in for the goal against Spezia. Everyone has contributed in any shape or form to this squad. I think we're one of the highest scoring sides of individual players in the league. So everyone's chipped in. Everyone is chipped in with their character, with their quality, with their hard work. And I'm just really proud. I'm excited to see where we go on. But obviously everyone has now embedded themselves as legends. Even like Tatarusanu with his penalty save. I'm getting carried away here. I want to go on to something else that's shortly, which kind of brings us back to the banter era. But I will say, if you are a Milan fan, it's all good for being humble. Don't get me wrong, it's all good for being humble. I get it. It's a good approach to have. It's a good outlook to have. That seasons can sort of turn in a swing, and next season we could be a lot more less fortunate, or however other teams can succeed. But at the moment, right now, I want everyone to rub it into our cousins' throat. Inter Milan, Juventus, whoever. Because this is our moment. This is our moment. And it may not last forever, so just milk it in. Like, just run it through social media. If you've got friends who support Inter Milan or Juventus, run it down their throats. Because this is what we've been waiting for. Over a decade since our last Scudetto. Living through the banter era. seeing players, and I'll come on to some of those players, and those the elements of hope which we tried to cling on to, which was just basically I don't even know how the hell we did it. I don't know how we did it going through the era, and now here we are, and the tables have turned, and now we have something to scream home about. And now we're the Italian champions. I'm so proud. I am so proud of this squad, this club, this team, management, these fans, the fans everywhere, because we've had to put up with that. And what I saw on Sunday night when I was in that pub in central London with hundreds of Milan fans was the release of pure patience and emotions there, because we've been waiting for this moment for so long. And yes, we have, leaps and goals to go through. I want to see us contend in the Champions League, hopefully in the next 5 years. Depends on the trajectory of the club. But right now, this seemed like a lifetime ago, to being able to win the league when we were struggling for 7th place finishes and 8th place finishes, and seeing some of the management and the player personnel we had at the club right then. Like this seemed like just ages ago. I couldn't even perceive it. Going into every season thinking, oh yeah, I hope we can get top 4. Oh yeah, I hope we can get top 5, top 6. Here we are, Italian champions. Like, doesn't it feel so good? Doesn't it feel so good just to think to yourselves that we lasted the whole way through for a 38-game season, that we were the best team in Italy, despite everything that went against us, despite refereeing decisions, despite injuries, despite players going down with COVID, despite the lack of investment just because FFP's up our asses every single time we turn around, despite having Alexis Salamakers at right wing. We won the league against our cousins, yeah? It's just crazy, and I just want us to all enjoy this moment right now, because it won't last forever, but just enjoy it. We're going to enjoy this summer. Get your shirts from the Milan store. Get your shirts with the Scudetto patch on it. In the comment section below, let me know you're going to get the back of your shirt. I'm getting Ibra next season. It's got to be done. Even if he stays or not, I don't really care. It's got to be done after that speech. But honestly, just enjoy the moment, and just enjoy just celebrating it. And if it means you taking a few Inter fans, then just do it. Now, I'm self-aware that clearly management or anyone related to the club isn't watching this videos, and everyone who do watch my videos are clearly fans. So I need to make it in the perspective of a fan like myself. And while I was preparing for this video, I could not help but think of the banter era and how much that had an importance into how we were moulded in the resilience of being fans. So this moment right now is for the fans. These are for the fans who thought Mexis and Zapata were going to be the next Nesta and Thiago Silva. This is for the fans who saw Bakayo Traore, Kevin Constant, and Francesco Acerbi as the marquee summer signings of 2013. These are for the fans who saw our legends to retire only to be replaced by fodder. These are for the fans who saw our ex-legends come back to the club as head coaches only to be run through the mud because there was no structure in management. These are for the fans who saw Silvio Berlusconi come back to the training every 2 to 3 weeks to hype up players like Polli, Zaccardo and Alessio Cerci. These are for the fans who hoped that Del Taarabt and Bojan was the next Kaká. These are for the fans who had to deal with Mexes and Paletta getting sent off every 5 to 6 games. These are for the fans who idolised Stefano El Shaarawy, Suso and Menez as if they were the next best thing in Italian football. These are for the fans who saw a Chinese consortium and Fasobelli blow through over 200 million euros worth of money and just completely bust our evolution and come back as a club. These are for the fans who threw fake money at Gigio Donnarumma at under-21 tournament in Poland, and I'll never forget you about that because I love that. These are for the fans who had to constantly deal with getting pumped by Juventus over the course of 9 to 10 years, and now can see us pump them instead. These are for the fans who had to deal with Italian referees over those 9 to 10 years as well. These are for the fans for dealing with Marco Giampaolo. These are for the fans who saw a rat go to the other side of Milan and think he can dunk on us by winning a Scudetto against us. It didn't happen. You lost. So suck that. So these are for the fans right now in that moment. And I'm so happy. I'm so proud of Milan fans for dealing through all that and now coming out on the other side. And now we can rejoice. And now we can celebrate. And I love to end my videos. I'm talking very passionately. I love to end my videos by saying Forza Milan, I'll speak to you guys next time. And I will speak to you guys next time because there's a lot of exciting things to talk about, whether it's new management, whether it's the transfer market, whether it's the Champions League group stage, whether it's anything to do with this club, because this right now is one of the best times to be a fan. But I will end by saying something different. And I hope you guys can finish it off for me because I don't usually like swearing on this channel. But these are for the fans who join with me and say, Çalhanoğlu, figlio di. See you later.